boy. Good. Hello and welcome to Mr. Sulley Sullivan, to his dog training lesson. In these lessons, I'm going to show you what he's been practicing and how you can keep working with him at home. Use these videos so that you can come back to if you can't remember what the hand cue was, or maybe if it's not working and you want to see a little more of the way I'm working with him. Use these videos, okay? So, Sully's really smart. He's really sweet. He loves training. He's an awesome personality. So just some things to think about, good boy, when you're training him. One thing is he is about to hit his juvenile stage, like his naughty teenager stage. So kind of this next path in life, you want to be, very clear about what the rules are. You want to give him feedback on his behavior. Definitely let him know when you like something. So one thing that we can tend to miss as pet parents is when our dogs are just being good, like they're just laying here and being calm, then we go, oh, we can relax. But you always want to be aware of when he's offering really good behavior on his own, acknowledge it. So pet him, talk to him, throw him a toy, whatever, give him a treat. But let him know that calm behavior will absolutely get your attention. Because Sulley, he'll do things like if I'm changing a trash bag, he'll try to grab the bag, or he might try to grab a towel. So he knows those things will also get your attention. So make a point to focus on letting him know you like his behavior when he's offering nice, good, calm, sweet behavior. So I fed Sulley out of either a slow feeder or a Kong wobbler at all meals. So he never ate out of a bowl. He ate out of something that would just take a little more time for him to get his meals. And that helps work his brain and body. And I'll have a list of those things in your homework notes. When you're teaching him and giving the cues, you want to say the word first and then give the hand signal second, right? If it's a fairly new behavior, I would say the word, hand cue, mark it with yes, and yes is promising a treat. So if you hear me say yes, I will always be giving a treat within 1 to 3 seconds after I say that. If he's working on a behavior that he's pretty good at already, we don't have to worry so much at that point. Like if we know that behavior's strong, we put it on our random reinforcement schedule. So that means we reward the best versions of something. Maybe we reward it when we're out in a public setting where things are going to be harder. But once he gets better, you don't have to be saying yes every time. You don't have to be treating every time. You kind of pick and choose when you do that. If it's a new behavior, reward often, okay? There's notes also in the homework about how to fade out food and those types of rewards over time. So I'm going to start out with some easy ones. We're going to start out with touch. So touch is where Sully's going to do a nose bump to my palm. Touch is a way to get him in close to me. It's also a way just to get him to focus. When we went on our outing to Hollywood Feed, I would stand around and talk to people and just be asking him for a touch, right? So it's making him hone in on me. So Sulley, touch. Yes. So I say yes right when he gets the nose bump, and then a treat follows. So I'll do that a couple more times. Sulley, touch. Yes. Good boy. So this is a piece of a pepperoni stick. They're actually this big. So when I'm treating him, I'm going to use a mixture of his dog food. So he's going to be working for stuff he gets anyway. And then you can mix it in with treats, but the treats are going to be small. So about the size of a pea or smaller, right? Unless this is a Charlie Bear. These are kind of big, but they're low calorie and crunchy. Sulley, touch. Yes, right there. This boy loves parking. Don't get your tail in the fire, Sulley. Touch. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so that's touch. Palm out. Good boy. Nose bump. This can also be used to help teach him to ring the bells. So you could put your hand behind bells at the door and ask him to touch that. We did not work on that well here. The bell's too much. If he ever did ring it, I would let him out. But if you wanted to work on that at home, touch is a great way to practice having him hit the bells. Good. All right. Sulley, touch. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Lay. Good boy. So he already knew his sit and lay. So on those, I'm going to be doing the random reinforcement because he knows those. So I don't want to say you're never going to get a treat or reward when you sit or lay down because you have those. I'm going to randomly reinforce them. So that behavior will stay strong, right? If we totally ignore that behavior, it'll go away. We want to keep those behaviors strong, so you'll see me giving random reinforcement for it. He keeps going to park it. That's what he's doing. I think that is his favorite cue he's worked on, but we're not working on that yet. Sulley, touch. Good boy. Come. Sit. All right, so a new one he did work on is stand. Sulley, stand. Yes. So I'm going to yes and treat this one. So I'm yesing when his hips come up at the back. So stand's literally going and standing up on all fours. So I'll combine it into a sit down, stand combination. In real working, you know, it helps if you were putting a harness on him, if you needed to wipe his feet, if you needed to brush him, all those would be a reason you might ask for a stand. So the cue's a flat palm and you pull it from his nose into you. So Sulley, you go lay down. Sulley, stand. Stand. Yes. Good boy. Good. Sit. Lay. Stand. Stand. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. So the stand, you know, you can work on doing sit to stand or lay down to stand. So it gives you a third behavior to throw in there so that he has to think about what you're asking him. Sometimes if we just do the same order of behaviors, our dogs get really good and we'll be like, sit down, sit, stand, shake, roll over, right? And it becomes a routine. We want him to actually be hearing what we're asking. So it might be sit to stand or down to stand, okay? So you can work on different combinations. Another behavior we worked on is watch me. So watch me. Yes. He does not have to sit for the watch me, but eye contact is what I'm looking at. So we'll do it from sit. Watch me. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, thank you, Numa. Watch me is fist to chin. Okay. So if he is looking at you, so right now your dog's barking, right? He's going, Sulley, touch. Watch me. Yes. Right. So he got distracted. So by me doing watch me, it's going to get his focus back over to me, right? Because he's like, what's Numa barking at? What's going on? Watch me. Down, lay. Sorry, I say down, so but I'm trying to say lay for you guys. Lay. Watch me. Yes. Good boy. Stand. Yes. Good. All right. So, little recap. You have touch, which is your palm out. It's a nose bump. It's a nose bump. So we have touch. Watch me is eye contact, fist to chin. Your sit, your lay. If you need to bend over a little bit, that's all right. Good boy. Stand is going to be here. Now, if he's laying down, I might need to come in a little closer to him. And stands one, like if he's not getting it right away, you could lure him a little bit, just a couple times to help him get it. But that would mean putting a treat in your hand. Whoops. And you could bring him up. But we want to try to do it without the food in our hand and reward after. Okay. Sit. Watch me. Stand. Yes. Good. He's a very smart boy. He is. He is. So good. All right. The next behavior let's work on is leave it. So leave it means don't touch it, don't pick it up. It's the idea that good things come from you, not from the ground. So leave it could be, I see Sulley starting to go grab a towel. I might tell him, hey, leave it. If he was carrying something around in his mouth, that would be a drop it, and we'd want to do an exchange of the goods. We primarily worked on our leave it cue. So I'm going to show you a few things. Now I'm going to have him leave food that's in my hand, but you could practice this, you know, if you had baby toys, like if he, I don't know, like some of the, like a pacifier, right? Or something like that. If he was like, oh, I'm always going to go for that. You could practice with those items too. So, or socks or whatever he might go for, but I'm going to show you with food right now. So exercise 1, I have the food in my palm. I'm going to say leave it. I want him to back away. Leave it. Yes. I'm going to treat with my other hand. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. He's like, I'm not going to touch it. We could, sometimes when they sit, they get it right more often. So I also want to ask while he's standing. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. One thing I would like him to get better on that is to start to disengage and look up at me, but without me saying to watch me. So what I would do is just hold out. Like, even though he's over here leaving it, I would want to wait till his eyes start looking up to me, and then I could say yes and treat. If you'll work on that at home, he'll get it really quickly. All right, so leave it part 2. I'm going to put the treats on the floor and cross them off. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Easy. Let's say I should grab something else. Try one more. Leave it. Sully. Leave it. He's like, okay. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. All right, so even though he's doing well, I'm ready to cover it, right? Because we know Sully likes food. So I don't 100% trust him yet. So if I put it down, I cross it off. If I see him going for it, I'm gonna block it with my hand or block it with my foot. All right, and so the last exercise for leave it, now I'm gonna drop the treat from above. I'll block it with my foot if I need to. So what this behavior is working on is, like if you're in the kitchen and you're cooking and food fell on the floor, that might be a leave it, okay? If, you know, anything, you might be taking Tylenol and a pill falls on the floor, we want to practice leave it. We want to make sure we're working on that. You know what, if things go on the floor, that doesn't mean that we snatch them up. That means we look to mom or dad to see if it's okay. So I'm gonna do this here. Definitely when I'm standing, because it's gonna be a little bit harder, but I don't want to drop it right here. So I would like my body in between Sully's and the food. Leave it. It's not even a treat over there. Sully, leave it. Yes, good boy. Good boy. So I'm gonna do it again. Leave it. Yes. Yes. Hello. Sully, touch. Leave it. Leave it. Sully, leave it. Okay. Terrible. So in this one, I'm gonna pick up the treat, and he's not getting another treat, right? But we're gonna do it again. So I switched it up a little bit by calling him to touch, and he goes, oh, there's those treats. So all of a sudden he was not hearing the leave it. So try it again. Leave it. Oh. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Yeah, a harder version of this is you practice doing a leave it and then you call your dog to come. Is you try to get them to not beeline for the leave it treat. Yes, good boy. All right.